So, hey, y'all. I am running just a little bit behind. I know that I believe there's a couple of people filing in here. So we'll get started here in just a moment. Bear with me as I get situated and set up, and we'll get this thing on the road. Okay? Okay, yes. All right, good. I am back. Getting a candle lit here. A little mood sensation. Oh, let's see. Amanda. Hello, Amanda. I do see you. I promise. I promise I see you. All right. Well, hello there and welcome. I am Stíofán Séamus and I am a spiritual healer and advisor and an intuitive reader. As we live our lives, Spirit guides us to and through life situations that can be difficult to understand. It's up to us to decide if we will follow the path that the Creator has set before us or ignore all the signs and wonders that this universe has to offer. Sometimes we are presented with a life situation where we need further guidance or healing to get through it. So as a spiritual advisor and a master Reiki healer, I connect with Source and channel messages and healing specifically for you and your highest good. Having love life issues or just really not knowing where the relationship's going, or just really questioning relationships in general? Well, let's talk and see what the divine would want you to know about the situation. Or maybe you're just kind of blah, just really not knowing what's happening next. Well, that's okay. Because, you see, there may be things that we need to know. But in order to know them, we need to loosen up our spiritual energy. So, maybe you would be in need of a Reiki session so that we can channel universal life energy to help you realign. Of course, with things kind of getting back to a normal-esque situation, maybe you're debating a career move and need to know if now is time to make that move. Well, through our spirit's mutual understanding, we can seek out those answers. So, if you are so inquiring of anything of the sort, or if you're just wanting to talk, say so. Say hello. Be a neighbor. Be a friend. And I'll be more than happy to assist you and give you some guidance. For I am Stíofán Séamus, guide of the light. So you'll have to excuse me a little bit. I am been a little parched this afternoon. I really should have renamed this live, because I did go ahead and do a thing. I don't know that I'm going to gonna keep the thing though. So we're just gonna kind of do this. I don't know. I might keep it. I don't know. It's like one of these. I feel like it's gonna be a love-hate relationship. But anyways, the Golden Tarot. I said I was going to do an unboxing, and so that we shall proceed with. The Golden Tarot. And here is the box. It's a nice box. It's a pretty box. Pretty box. Nice box. So one thing that I noticed right off the bat is these cards are huge, okay? I mean, look at this. This is the Golden Tarot. This is my Celtic Tarot. Quite literally, like, practically say half the size. I'm not sure about it. And I couldn't get the plastic off of these. But something that came to my attention that I wasn't too happy with was that the name of the card is actually not on the card. And so for the majority of the cards, that's not going to be a problem. I think where I am going to have my problem with them is going to be... Oh, come on. Come off. Where I'm going to have my problem is going to be whenever it comes to the major arcana. And I mean, gosh, man, these are massive. They're massive, man. So let's just kind of go through here. How are they going to look? That's going to be another thing too, is how are they going to look on that? Not too bad. Not too bad. So this is the Fool. This would be the Magician. I forget which one's first. I think it's the High Priest. Okay, so anyways, I'm just going to lay out the first few here and then so that's that. I don't know. Like, I think they're nice. They're nice. It's just, is this... I don't know. We'll just have to see. It comes with this book. It's not as nice as Christopher's book, in my opinion. But that's my opinion. This book goes through the history. Then it goes talking about the Divine Tarot. Then it talks about the road to wisdom, so how it came about becoming a deck of wisdom. then it does the trumps or the major arcana. Then it goes through the 4 suits. Then the last chapter is called the Tarot Journey. Let's go. So it does give some spreads. But very, actually, 1, 2, 3. Situation, attitude, and key element. Outcome. Cool. So it even gives example readings as well. And see that they go in here, they're asking the same type of questions that I say that I like to have you ask. So like the sample reading of the Celtic Cross in here, the issue is the person's name is Elizabeth is offered a better paying job in another city requiring a move. Her question is, what do I need to know to make the right decision for me? Okay, so those are the kinds of questions that I like that this book actually points that out. That's very encouraging in my opinion. So that's nice. Okay. This nifty bag, but there is another thing inside here, and a purple satin cloth, which to you all looks blue on the screen for some weird reason. I promise it is purple. I think it said satin. Yeah, satin. So traditionally what's used is silk. That's what this is and this is. But you know, I don't know. This deck, I might be okay with it. Okay, this is the priestess, be the mother, right? See, I'm questioning. I'm questioning the cards. So let me look in my book. Okay, yeah. Emperor and the Empress. High Priestess, Empress, Emperor, Priests. Or the Hierophant, I guess, if you want to go that I might have to, at least on the major arcana, make a distinction. On here, what? Because I'm going to get very confused. So, let's see. Hierophant. Okay, the lovers. Okay. And then this is the chariot. Yes. So that means that this is justice. No. Strength. But justice. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 7, 8. Strength. They switched strength and justice. Okay, Emperor, the Pope, yeah, the Pope, the lovers, the chariot, justice. They put justice there. Huh. It's going to be interesting. Going to be interesting deck. So they put justice. They switched justice and strength. Wow, man, this book is very, very stiff. High priest, emperor, pope, lovers, chariot, justice, hermit. So they swap justice and strength. Because the next card is the hermit, then the Wheel of Fortune. Yes, Joe, this is a new deck. Then is strength. And the Hanged Man. Temperance. The Devil. The Tower. The Star. The Moon. The Sun. Judgment. And the World. Then we get into the suit cards, and so yeah, no, I'm still waiting on the camera. Unfortunately. And it looks like the suit cards are going to be pretty self-explanatory. So that's a good thing. There's the page, the knight, the queen, the king. So that was the cups. I'm sorry, you all couldn't see them all that well, could you? Let me pick these guys up. And there's the back. Nine, 10, and the page, the knight, the queen, and the king. Which I don't know what these are supposed to be. I mean, I don't really see that as a cup. I can kind of see these as cups. You know, I kind of see that as a cup. I mean, that looks more like a fountain. But I mean, really, in other cup cards or in other decks for the Ace of Cups, it is kind of a fountain type of thing. So that's interesting. Then we have the swords. Ace, 2, 3. Ooh, that's an interesting take. Instead of 3 down, it got 2 down and then 1 up here. So that there might be some significance in that. We got 4 crossing here. Okay, so all the swords are going to be crossing no matter what. Eight, 9, 10. So there's the page and the knight, the queen, and the king. So, this deck calls the wands the batons. So there's them. So kind of simple a little simple imagery, you know. There's not really anything within the image that seems to me that would have a whole lot of significance. There's the page, there's the knight, there's the queen, and the king. Then the pentacles that calls the coins, which is not too out of sync with other decks. So there's the 1, and there's 2, 3, 4, 5. The 2. Now, I mean, you kind of notice that there's some scrolling here in the cards, especially on the coins. I don't know if it was that scrolly on. Yeah, it's kind of scrolly on the other ones too, but you notice that the 2 of coins does still kind of do this infinity symbol, just like every other deck here in this. I don't know if that was meant to be that way, but that's something to think about there. In the 10. So here's the page. And the knight, and the queen, and the king. So that's this deck. How do I feel? How do I feel about them? Well, they, in my opinion, they are absolutely almost way too big. That's just me. And I don't know if there's something about that is I don't know. If it's because that the original deck, because these are supposed to be copies of like a very old traditional deck that was used to play a game called Trumps. I think you can think of that as the game that we now call Rook, something along that line. So anyways, that's just that. I don't know. How do I feel? Now that I have them and I have them in my hand, as one thing that I was kind of wondering is if they were going to be this big deck, because the pictures on the box kind of looked like the cards themselves were kind of on the bigger side. Um, which, hey, I don't have anything wrong with big until it gets to cards. So I don't know. I am going to have to take some time, I think, to really think this over. Because I was thinking that this was the direction that I was needing to go, but now that I have them, I'm not certain. So if I decide to not, I will cleanse them of my energy first, and then return them. So we're probably not using these tonight. Okay, so they had it with that there instead. And then this. Okay. No, that's not him. Nope. That goes, but this comes back up. It's Justice. Yeah, because it's got the light. So, anyways. I think what disappointed me was the other cards. The Major Arcana actually I kind of liked as just something different. But oh boy, okay. And the Hierophant. Okay. Fool, Magician, Priestess, Empress, Emperor, Hierophant. I got something mixed up here. Don't give me that no internet bull crap. Thor's chariot. Hermit. Wheel of Fortune. Strength. The Hanged Man. Devil. The Tower. The Star. The Moon. The Sun. Judgment. The World. Will I be some gun? Oh, wait. Justice. Hangman. Yes. Hangman. And then Death and Temperance. Haha. And then this was right. Okay. And then I'll go that. And then kaboom. Okay. Yeah, so I'm not sure. I'm not sure. Anyways, so how is everyone doing? If you're here with us, thank you for joining. If you are new, please like, share, and subscribe. If you're catching this on the replay, then great. If you're just kind of chilling, say something. Let me know. Be nice to hold a conversation. Kind of slow tonight, kind of slow. So, while we're waiting, I guess, we shall I'm going to ice read on this tricycle again. Just kind of gives us a little something to do and gives us some practice too. That is not the deck that I want. This is the deck. No, this is not the deck that I want. This is the deck that I want. Okay. So as I said before, get one deck. If all you have is one deck, then by all means just use the one deck. But just pull out your court cards and give them a nice shuffle. I'm going to cut the deck and then pull the top card. The top card off of the court cards is the Queen. The Queen of Swords. So that is our subject. And then we're going to take the lower 40 and give them just a nice quick toss. Not up in the air, like toss from here to there, toss. And take the top card. I usually cut the deck. Oh well. So the Pentacles. So we're going to be talking a little bit about financial situation. So we could be looking at some home life issues here. We could also be looking at some career issues. Okay. So, what the Queen of Swords is asking, what do I need to know about my financial situation? And this is just how I do this to practice with new and different spreads. So I'm going to take the cards. Shuffle those. As we're shuffling, we're expressing the question in our mind. What do we need to know about the financial situation? Of the Queen of Swords. So I'm going to do this one more time. Try not to over shuffle like I did last night. And then take that deck there, that deck there, and that deck there. I'm going to pick the middle deck. There, that deck there, that deck there. I'm going to take the middle deck again. I had enough to pull it out 2 times, so that's what we're doing. And so 1, 2, 3, 4. And we had 3 left over. So that's probably the way we needed to do that. That's the explanation. Whenever you have a good number that comes up like 3 or 7 or something like that, excuse me, it's probably the way that we needed to do that. 1, 2, 3, and 4. So the first card talks about the issue of the question. This is the place of the cauldron in this reading. So this is kind of like the center of the question. For the center of the question, the card is the 8th card in the Major Arcana. This is strength. So, strength in a financial reading. eh, let me discuss financial reading real quick, okay? So, what's going to happen with a financial reading is you're actually going to be kind of looking at two areas in your reading. You're going to kind of take an approach of a general reading, but you're also going to take an approach of business and career reading, and it's kind of a mesh of the two. But the thing is, you don't want to be like dead focus on career or dead focus on business, and then lose sight that we need to talk about the money issue, because the money issue is what's being asked about. Maybe there's some really rough stuff going on right now in their finances, and they're just really needing some peace of mind. So they're not coming to you asking, am, what do I need to know about a new job or anything like that. Now, if something like that comes to you, you need to go ahead and say it. I'm not saying to ignore anything that comes to you, but you definitely don't want to be so focused on just one subject here. So, strength in a general reading says that it's time for one to take their power back by appeasing one's fears. One has the strength to get through this time, but that they are much stronger than they think. Balance, willpower, and courage. Balance. Okay. They need to balance willpower, courage, and love. In a business career reading, strength talks about one is no longer a victim in one's career. One can step into one's true power by balancing love and generosity with wisdom and courage. Okay. So, what's at the forefront of this issue? So, we're talking about finances for this individual. And so, whenever we're talking about finances and we get something like this, we're talking about balance. And a big thing that comes up is willpower. And another big thing that comes up is wisdom. And another big thing that comes up is courage. And another big thing that comes up is love. Okay? So, what does this feel like? Well, what it can show in us for the financial situation is that maybe there is some area where they're not quite paying attention to within the finances, that it makes them think about, maybe this just came to me right now. So this word generosity, maybe they feel like that they wish that they could be more generous. They wish like that they could be in a better position to take on these other obligations financially that they're not necessarily have been able to take on. And so what this card could be saying is that now is the time to really start considering those. Okay. So don't let up your guard, and let now be the time to start considering that. The next element in this is the material. So this is the okay, yeah, this is the pentacles in a reading, the place of the pentacle. So everything material based, right? And so the card in that position is the Hermit. So the Hermit, as a general reading, says this is a time for solitude, quieting the mind to find the solution one needs. Questions to reflect on may be, what am I supposed to learn from this? Or where did this come from? Or how can I heal this? In a business and career reading, the Merlin can suggest that one should one should try to find the insight one needs, that they may need to revisit old patterns that got them to this point. They should only rely on their wisdom. They could be working in a secluded environment. So we're not going to be worried about the working in the secluded environment necessarily, but let's take this from the wisdom perspective. Okay, we had wisdom come up with strength. Let's follow into that, because we're starting to get a direction here, and we're talking about wisdom. So being wise with their finances. Okay, they're not really feeling like that they are being obligatory to the places and situations that they need to be. That's this. So, in the material aspect of this, we need to be wise in how we handle our situations. That's what the Merlin tries to reach out and tell us. So, the next card in the reading is the emotional element. And so that is the make sure. Yeah, that would be the wands, I believe. I'm not even going to look. So checking in emotionally to this issue, we have the Page of Cauldrons for this, and that's actually kind of interesting as a Page of Cauldrons. So in a general reading as news, it talks about an offer could be coming soon that will open the individual's heart. This is reconciliation and joy is suggested by this card as well. In a business career reading, talks about positive offer to open your heart. very good news for one's career. So again, it looks as though emotionally, actually, that they are going to be fine. That this is going to help them move forward with their finances. That they're going to find a cause to be able to give to, and once they start doing that, things are going to work out. And it's funny how that stuff happens, isn't it? How whenever we think that we are down and out and we want to help in with certain situations, and we just don't feel like that we can, but we go ahead and do it anyways, that things just work out, right? Things just work out. That is just kind of awesome. And I think that just shows the power of the divine even more. The next part of the reading is the creative. And that is the swords. So the card that is in the creative position is the 21st card of the major arcana, or the 22nd card, but card 21. In a general reading, it says that this is the full completion of this cycle. The spiritual lessons have been mastered. Success, happiness, and fulfillment. And a business career reading says that there is great success and fulfillment. One is where they want to be. They are the master of their own universe. And that really just sums it up, doesn't it? And even though it's in the creative position, it's really kind of a wrap up. It's kind of more of a look, do the thing. You know in your heart that you want to do the thing, and you know if you do, that things are going to be fine, that they're going to be okay, and you don't have to worry about it. Don't worry about it. That's what this card says. Their idea is fully seen by the divine. How awesome. How awesome. So, anyways, that's another ice reading on the tricycle spread. Well, it's 11:30. Don't have anybody in here yet. And I just that just really, I don't know what to think about that. Oh well. Win some, lose some, I guess, right? So, I think I'm going to just call it a night. Can't sit around waiting forever. And it's not anybody's fault. I come on whenever I can, whenever the internet cooperates. Maybe I can fix a way to where the internet is going to be better, but we'll have to see how things play out. So, Anyways, I do thank everybody that has been watching or did watch or whatever. I thank you all for your support. And don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Hit the little bell notification thingy, and you'll know whenever I come on live. In light and love, Stíofán Séamus. Catch me on Facebook, facebook.com/Guide of the Light. You can also subscribe to me at YouTube, Guide of the Light on YouTube. We do thank everyone for watching. Be on the lookout for the next live show. If you would like to help make the viewing and reading experience more enjoyable, you can support me by sending donations to paypal.me/Guide of the Light. Every dollar that I receive will be spent in making the show better, so every dollar counts. I thank you and send light and love your way. The cards that are used in the show are the Celtic Tarot by Christopher Hughes and the Celtic Dragon Tarot by DJ Conway. Your intuitive reader is Stíofán Séamus, and the producer is Stephen James. We would like to say thank you to the ones that have given, are going to give, and have nothing to give other than a review and a share. My heart and light goes out to each and every one of you. May the divine bless you all. In light and love, Stíofán Séamus, Guide of the Light.